Afternoon, Father.
Terrible response. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Father.
Thank you. Thank you. I've had to wait a whole year to come back here to talk. My name is Father Ailbe, an easy name to remember. Think of a bottle of ale. Could it be at the end of it? 6th century Irish, so I've been around for a while. I'm reminded, of the story of the missioner beginning a mission sermon. And he took a deep Pentecostal diaphragmatic breath, and he let the roar out, and he said, "All in this parish are damned." But there was a man behind the pillar, and he bravely sighed and laughing. And he thought maybe he was deaf, maybe I'd start again. And he took another deep breath, and he let another roar out, and he said, "All in this parish are damned." There's dead silence, but your man was still laughing. So he decided to go on anyway, and afterwards he met him outside. "Come here, you," he said. "Why were you laughing at the start of the mission sermon tonight?" "Ah, Father," he says, "I'm not from this parish at all." Well, even though we're not from this parish, we're all welcome here today. What a wonderful day it is, too, the feast of St.Peter and Paul. And to that end, I'm going to talk about the 3 P's. Peter, Paul, and you, the people. 3 P's. It is a certainty that volumes have been written about these 2 gentlemen we celebrate today. Indeed, words in books are continued to be written about them. I asked the question myself recently, how am I supposed to say a few words that would give truth to the life of these 2 men of God? At the end of the first half of St. Mark's Gospel, we find that there's an awful lot of opposition to Jesus, and indeed to his work and to his mission statement. You will all remember that mission statement taken from the 61st chapter of the prophet Isaiah, when Jesus said, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has sent me to bring good news to the poor, to heal the brokenhearted, to bind up all their wounds, to proclaim liberty to captives." Also here in St. Mark's Gospel, we find the great confession of faith by Peter, when he says, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Yes, Peter was chosen as the leader of the apostles. And he was also privileged to witness the transfiguration of the Lord on Mount Tabor. He witnessed the rising and the raising of the dead child back to life. He witnessed the agony of Christ in the Garden of Gethsemane. And yet it was to Peter alone that it was said by Christ, "Blessed are you, Simon, because no man had revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven." Peter, at the end, is declared the rock on which Christ would build his church, and entrusts to him the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And despite perhaps a turbulent 3 years meeting with Christ, at the end, he was able to accept Jesus' doctrine of forgiveness. So much so that he went out to a lonely place and he cried because he knew he had been forgiven. On the other hand, the second he, Paul, he was the most Pharisaic of Pharisees, the most legalistic of Mosaic lawyers. And with his conversion on the road to Damascus, he welcomed Gentiles and became a traitor and an apostate to his own people. His experience of the personal risen Christ on the road to Damascus became the driving force that made him one of the most zealous, dynamic, and courageous men. Yes, he became an ambassador for Christ, an ambassador the church has never really come to terms with. For Paul, the dying Christ was always before him. The living Christ became his life. And Paul, throughout his life, tried his best to unify a polarized Jewish-Gentile church. For this, he suffered. Yes, 5 times he was given 40 lashes less 1. 3 times he was beaten with rods. He was stoned once and shipwrecked 3 times. He was constantly in danger, rejected, beaten, cold, hungry, which caused him many sleepless nights. And to all of this, Paul could say, I am content with weakness, with mistreatment, with distress, with persecution, with difficulties, for the sake of Christ. For when I am weak, he is strong. In these last few moments, my dear friends, I've given you a thumbnail sketch of 2 great men within the church, Peter and Paul. 2 great men of history who put their hands to the plow and never once looked back. I now ask the question this afternoon, where does that leave you and me? We are the people of God. We are the living church in action. There is, a danger that through suffering and difficulty, that we turn in on ourselves. Through the problems of life, we at times find it very hard to reach out to those who are in need about us. We no longer hear the cry of our brothers and sisters in need. And very often those people are living in the same house as we are. And we're gone deaf to their cry. And yet, Jesus is saying to each one of us here this afternoon that the Spirit of the Lord is upon you. And He wants you to bring the good news to those who are poor, to heal the brokenhearted, to free those enslaved by addiction of one kind or another. Yes, we are asked to be the balm of Gilead in order to heal the sin-sick soul. In our society today, there is a great need for a new evangelization. And we are asked to be part of that. We're asked to bring the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ to those who walk in darkness and have lost their way. We're asked to bring forgiveness where there is hurt, to bring a renewal of faith where people are despairing. We're asked to rise above ourselves and to reach out to the lost and those who are searching for peace and forgiveness, for healing and for hope. We are called, we are chosen, we're asked to be Christ to one another in our daily lives. We are the ambassadors of Christ every day, in the home, in the place of work, in the schools, in the streets. We proclaim Jesus Christ to the glory of God the Father. Yes, we have no right to be inward looking. Rather, we should be outward looking, to bring new hope to the hopeless, new sight to the blind, new freedom to the children of God. That, my dear friends, is our responsibility as followers of Jesus Christ. To be part of this new evangelization, which is so badly needed in our time. Remembering that every day, and I mean this with all my heart, every day we can make a difference. We can make a difference. We have come here to this shrine of Mary today. It is indeed a place of prayer, a place of faith, a place of peace, a place of reconciliation. And it is here that we too find the energy and the encouragement from our encounter with Mary. the mother of Jesus. And as her mantle covers all of us, she will support us. And in our trials of difficulty, she also asks for us to make a difference in daily life, to rise above ourselves and to reach out to our brothers and sisters who cry out to us for support. That we play our part in bringing Christ's message of love and peace, of forgiveness and friendship, of healing and hope to those we meet every day. Then we too, like Mary, can answer a definite yes to the call of Christ to follow him. We too, like Peter, can openly confess that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God. And like Paul, we would say, he must increase, I must decrease.
Amen. Amen.